basket. That cry has resounded since 1892 when a YMCA instructor named James A. Naismith introduced a brand new American game to the world. Today, basketball is the #1 spectator sport, thrilling fans by the millions, whether it's played by veteran professionals or enthusiastic youngsters. In Washington, D.C., the small fry show their stuff in a contest between the Nye House Naturals and the Police Boys Club Panthers. Don Whitmire of the Naturals puts it in. Here come the Naturals again. Earl Harrell sends the ball whipping through the basket. The Police Club Panthers take over in the 12th edition of this annual tournament. Can these 80-pounders shoot? Just watch. It's an evenly matched contest, but Nye House breaks through to win. While grade and high school games pack local gyms, top college battles often fill mammoth sports arenas like Madison Square Garden, where NYU takes on California. The Eastern Five shows little hospitality to the team from the West. Cal sinks one, then falls behind, as shots like this beauty pile up an early lead for NYU. The excited crowd sees Bill Thompson try for a California basket and miss. The New Yorkers get the ball, and they get the game as well. NYU beats the Golden Bears by a whopping 69-50. Here's another East-West clash, Long Island U versus Southern California. The Blackbirds of LIU are out for their 10th victory in 11 games, and Leroy Smith tosses it in. Slow motion picks out the details of play. The ball goes to Bill Sharman, who shoots and misses. The Trojans just can't seem to get that ball into the basket. Now LIU takes over, and that's all, brother. Eddie guards to Leroy Smith. Now Smith passes it along to Sherman White. The long and lanky White, voted New York's outstanding player by Metropolitan sports writers, makes this one count. Though thoroughly outclassed, Southern Cal has a few good moments, like this Bill Sherman basket. But most of the way, the Easterners play rings around the visitors. LIU wins 70-45 as White scores again. St. John's, undefeated up till then, meets Utah and almost gets its comeuppance. The highly favored Eastern Five finds the going tough from the beginning. Here's one from the outside as Frank Mulzoff tosses it in for the Brooklyn Red Men. Now, Utah takes over. Gordon Crofts passes to Glenn Smith. Glenn misses, then taps it in. St. John's takes the offensive, moving down court. The ball goes to Bob Zawalek, and he sends it through the hook. By intermission, Utah leads 24-18. Then the thrills really pile on. Utah's Duggins misses. The last frenzied minutes see 4 changes of lead and 4 ties. After a Utah miss, the Red Men take over. St. John's squeaks through to win by a single point, 51-50. Favored Notre Dame tangles with NYU, but the underdogs Jim Brasco promptly gives the partisan fans something to cheer about. Then the Irish proceed to show their stuff as Kevin O'Shea racks up a beauty. Trailing by 9 points at the half, Notre Dame goes into action, and the slow-motion camera records the Irish technique at its best as John Foley sharpshoots a 2-pointer. The New Yorkers, with shots like this by Connie Schaff, pile up a 13-point lead with only 2 minutes to go. Notre Dame, favored to win by 6 points, suddenly finds itself and comes back with a vengeance. Foley scores with a perfect snake shot. The Irish are fighting the clock now, and it's too late as O'Shea scores. New York wins 66-63. A favored Navy team gets the jump on Army and immediately shows the wildness that points to an upset in the making as Army proves its marksmen are more accurate. But Navy comes roaring back to make this traditional season's end game between the two service rivals a nip-and-tuck thriller all the way. Now it's Army's turn. Nealon sinks up beauty. Navy, trailing at the half, forges to a 1-point lead as Mullaney hits the jackpot on the West Point court. Navy puts on an all-out effort to pull the game out of the fire and nearly succeeds with beautiful shots like this. But it's Army's night to howl as the cadets upset Navy 50-46. The National Invitation Tournament brings the nation's top 5s to Madison Square Garden. Teams like CCNY and Kentucky meet in knockdown, drag-out fights to the finish. Colonel Rupp's Kentuckians engage in a pre-game drill on the garden floor. They're the favorites tonight, and here's the game. The ball goes to Kentucky, champion of the Southeastern Conference and second seeded in the tourney. The Southerners show some passing skill, then try for their first basket, and miss. CCNY takes over. Nat Holman's boys from City aren't supposed to have a chance. Some experts claim they don't even belong in the tournament, but they proceed to uncork a brand of basketball that sends 18,000 fans into delirium. Ed Warner drives in, and the ball whips through the basket. After a nightmare start, Kentucky finally gets going. Bill Spivey sinks this one, but by the half, City leads 45-20. The second half finds Kentucky still behind the 8 ball. Len Pearson shoots. It's a miss. CCNY gets the ball. The amazing City 5 is to pile up 16 consecutive points in 2.5 minutes. Herb Dambrot sinks this one. Kentucky coach Rupp finds himself on the losing end of one of basketball's greatest upsets as Ed Warner gets another for City. In the quarterfinal of the NIT, Nat Holman's City College 5 performs a sports miracle by handing Colonel Rupp's Kentucky team the greatest licking in its history, 89-50. CCNY versus Bradley in the National Invitation Final, a red-hot championship battle that sets Madison Square Garden rocking. Gene Melchiori racks one up for the favored Bradley 5, rated top in the nation. Erwin Dambrot answers with a basket for underdog City. When Melchiori loses the ball, teammate Bill Mann scoops it up and scores. It looks like a walkaway. Then CCNY gets hot. By the half, Bradley's lead is cut to 3 points. Dambrot, who is to score 23 points, chalks this one up for City. In the second half, the game explodes into a seesaw fight with 6 ties and 7 changes of lead. Bradley's Benke passes to Grover, who sends the ball through the basket to tie it up. City coach Nat Holman's blood pressure soars like a rocket. The tension mounts for 18,000 frantic fans. City shoots, but the ball rims the basket. Can the City College team tip it in? Ed Warner, later voted the tourney's outstanding player, provides the answer. Gloom descends on the Bradley bench as City gets the lead and holds it in the final minutes. Now Big Ed Roman scores one as CCNY defeats mighty Bradley 69-61 to become National Invitation champion. Here with his family is Mr. Basketball himself, George Mikan, voted by the nation's top sports authorities in an Associated Press poll as the greatest basketball player of the half-century. Most of the other all-time sports greats have long since retired, but Mikan is still very much in action as the mainstay of the professional Minneapolis Lakers team. Playing against the New York Knickerbockers, Mikan takes over the ball for the Lakers. This 6-foot, 10-inch tall star of stars tries for a basket and is fouled. Mr. Basketball gets to shoot a couple of foul shots and makes it look so easy. Coming up is another score for the finest player of them all, the unbelievable George Mikan. Though little more than a half-century old, basketball is played today in almost every country and under almost every condition. In Miami, they play it on the beach. The sandy footing fails to slow down these basketeers from the University of Miami. With a bright sun, palm trees, and girls in bathing suits, the opposing fives have plenty of inspiration. Madison Square Garden was never like this. Falls are frequent, and the heat can make you work up quite a sweat. But where else, when the game is through, can you forget all about crowded showers and locker rooms and just cool off in the surf? Basketball, it's wonderful. Things go from hot to cold, as in Lakewood, New Jersey, basketball is played for the first time on ice. Thrown in as well are elements of hockey and football, with an occasional dash of murder. The idea is to get the ball through the basket. As to how you get it there, let your conscience be your guide. Tigers and the Laurels fight it out for 4 10-minute quarters. History's first game of cold storage basketball goes to the Laurels, 23-21. Girls started playing basketball about 40 years ago. Today, there are more than 1 million basketball players of the fair sex in the U.S. alone. Few are better at it than Hazel Walker's Arkansas Travelers, here sprucing up to take on the Kiwanis Club team in a charity match at Huntington, Indiana. The ladies quickly prove they're as adept at handling that ball as they are at handling a lipstick. Court battle of the sexes, the men seem to be getting the runaround. Now the Kiwanis team discovers that the female of the species is a more deadly shot than the male. When it comes to stepping around, it's hard to beat the ladies. They miss the basket this time and the men take over, but not for long. No, Elmer, honey, you can't have the ball. Travelers pile up an imposing lead while the Kiwanis team finds that chasing these girls doesn't pay off at all. Low bridge, coming through. You remember when sports were for men? Another great tourney comes to Madison Square Garden, the NCAA. North Carolina State meets Holy Cross in the semifinals. Dick Dickey of State sends the ball through the basket. For the first quarter, it's an even battle. Here's Holy Cross star Bob Cousy ringing one up for the Crusaders. In the second quarter, North Carolina State runs away with the game. Sam Ranzino puts the ball in often enough to set a new tourney record of 32 points. Holy Cross misses. North Carolina gets possession, and the result is some razzle-dazzle court action. Warren Cartier of State sinks it. With Bob Cousy aiming for that basket, Holy Cross pulls up to within 3 points of State. But then the Wolf Pack really takes over. When the smoke of battle clears, North Carolina State has forged an impressive victory, 87-74. Next, CCNY meets Ohio State in the other Eastern Regional semifinal. City has its closest call of the season as State goes to town. Steve Jacobs tosses this one. Every movement counts in a game which is to be tied 6 times. City's Joe Gallagher shoots and misses, but Ed Warner backs him up and puts it in. By the half, the score is 40-40. Ed Roman of City comes down court, takes a chance on a long one, and makes it pay off. The crowd is in a state of nervous exhaustion as the game nears its end. Irv Dambrot of City passes to Floyd Lane. Floyd sets his sights on the basket. CCNY wins a really tight one by a single point, 56-55. North Carolina State gets the jump on New York's hot City College 5 in Madison Square Garden, and 18,000 tense fans see State draw first blood in the Eastern NCAA Finals. But City, New York's team of destiny, bounces right back. City's 1 point ahead at the half. The camera motion slow, but the action's fast as the second half opens with State on the rampage. Again, Ranzino shows his sharpshooter's eye. Dick Dickey, State ace, has an off moment, and City's Ed Warner makes the most of it. With a crack at the unprecedented double championship hanging on this game, City's players show signs of strain, but they recover in time to convert misses into points, as Ed Roman neatly proves. City wins the Eastern Crown, 78-73. Basketball's Grand Slam rides on every shot as New York City College, already victor over Bradley's Braves in the invitation tourney, takes them on again in the NCAA Finals. City jumps into the lead as Big Ed Roman sinks one from the corner. 18,000 tense fans and the slow-motion camera see the teamwork that makes Bradley the terror of the court as Bill Mann passes to Paul Unruh, who justifies his reputation. As the battle waxes hot, Norm Major of City and Aaron Priest of Bradley crash head-on. battling desperately for the unprecedented double crown, making shots from every angle count, leads by 7 points at the half. Norm Major, knocked cold in that court crack-up and now playing with 5 stitches in his head, sinks a beauty. City's 11-point lead looks safe, but Bradley, undismayed, comes back as Shanaka scores. It takes City teamwork at its best to cancel the damage, with Floyd Lane making the play pay off. City leads by a single point with 30 seconds to go. New York fans have their hearts in their mouths as Gene Melchiori, the night's top scorer, drives in for the shot that can win. But City's great captain, Erwin Dambrot, grabs the ball and hurls it the length of the court to Major. And it's all over but the shouting as the battered Norm Major, playing the game of his life, sinks it. City wins the game, the championship, and the first Grand Slam in basketball history. Teammates Rush, Major, and City coach Nat Holman. It's a great moment for a great team, which proved to the world that it knew how to shoot the basket.